everything.
Yes.
Yes. All right. We are live, ladies.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey, everybody. What's up? We're back. This is a special edition of Thirsty Thursdays. Of course, it wouldn't be a Thirsty Thursday without the lovely ladies of Face Beat Hills High Pod. We have 2/3 of them with us today. Send all of our love and blessings to PJ, who is literally doing something amazing for herself. And I know how I feel about doing things for
yourself. We're like booked and busy. I love to see it.
Booked and busy. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go first. I am Krista B, one half of those wrestling girls. I will not be staying on long, but while I'm here, you have my undivided attention. And I just want to start off by saying I am drinking pink Moscato barefoot wine today. I'm keeping it classy and simple.
Ooh,
that is it.
Very nice.
I think we switched, P, because you always do the wine. I think
right. I definitely switched. So it's me, Queen PR, the other half of those wrestling girls, and I have been on it. I don't know if you have been following me on Twitter, but I've been on like this tequila margarita kick. So I got the Rocks tequila. Krista, I forgot to tell you earlier. Yes,
y'all literally switch.
You
literally switched it.
Yep.
Who has the attitude before this show though?
I'm salty. It's been a lot going on in women's wrestling right now. So I think true. I'm definitely gonna be on Krista B's type of time
tonight. My time is here for everybody to share. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, we are the Face Beat Heels High podcast. I am Cristina the Baker Contreras, and here is also one of my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Wild Spice.
Yes.
Am I the only one in Pride here? I'm rocking Nara.
You are. Oh my god. Okay, we gotta plug that shirt.
We need one. We need one.
Yes, you do.
It's in our merch store. So go to facebeatpodcast.com and there's the link for our merch. It's on our website. This is our Babe Club Pride Month shirt, and it's only available to get in June.
Yes, so please check it out.
And tank tops. I love it.
Yeah. You can get it in any style you want. It says Face Beat Heels High on top, Babe Club, and it's cute. It's got like the little lipsticks for the bullets.
It's super cute.
I love your merch.
PJ did it as she does everything that has to do with our image and the merch.
Of course,
as she does. And 10% of the proceeds are gonna go to one of the best fundraisers in New York for queer people. It's called New Horizons. We're very excited. We donated the proceeds last year. We are happy to do this again this year. So please go ahead and get some merch if you want and help us donate. That'll be pretty awesome.
Really buy some merch. Definitely. You have to.
So tonight I am also drinking wine.
This is why
no rum and coke.
Okay. No rum and coke tonight. No rum and coke.
Weird.
Right?
I'm drinking tequila and soda.
What is happening tonight?
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe
but I appreciate
it early. Maybe I should just stay on to see what's gonna happen.
I'm just saying
it might be that type of time.
I think that's what we need.
Cheers to the switch.
Absolutely.
Please.
But before, so that people understand what we're doing here, we like to play a game that has officially been named the Game with No Name by our friend Paige. It's Jerry's friend, but we're all friends with her at this point.
Hey, Paige, girl, what's up?
Hey Paige, what's up, girl? So it is the Game with No Name, and we usually on our episodes we dedicate one shot each for anything in the wrestling world that we like. So we got 3 shots a show, but because it's Thirsty Thursdays and we like to get turned, we don't care. So whenever you hear this, so whenever you hear the sound,
drink.
Take a swig, drink your water, drink your alcohol. Oh, twice. I'm sorry. I got excited there. But yes, that is the Undertaker spell. So please go ahead and drink with us whenever you hear that. So let's go ahead and drink for the switcheroo.
Yes. So I feel like every edition of like Thirsty Thursday is somehow a special edition because we just love doing it so much.
I agree.
Shout out to PJ. We love you. We miss you.
She's the best. She's the best.
Really is. But this is actually a very special edition of Thirsty Thursday because it's during June, which is Pride Month. And, everyone on this podcast obviously are strong allies to the LGBT AI plus community. So we wanted to take this opportunity to celebrate them and as well as just kind of discuss a little bit of the queerness in wrestling and celebrate,
Right.
So I want to introduce someone that I have had the pleasure of working with in the past. I was able to interview them for our interview series, and they actually inspired those wrestling girls to give back. So our Patreon account, occasionally we donate to nonprofit organizations, and this person actually was a person that inspired that because they are, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Oh. I want to welcome the lovely Kay to those wrestling girls and Thursday night.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. What's going on?
Hi. Happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. I don't drink, so I have coffee.
That's
fine.
perfect.
So,
You can drink anything you want on the show.
and I have water.
You know what? Keeping hydrated. I love it. Oh.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it, love
I
it.
have a volunteer shift immediately after this, so I have to wake the fuck up. And I smoked beforehand, so I'm ready to go.
Nice. So Baker Kay is 420 friendly, like us.
Hello,
So-
Kay. How you doing? My
How
birthday's
you
on
doing?
420. How are you?
My
Sorry,
birthday's on
what's-
8/20, so
Wow.
not good.
I see you. Okay.
Your mic is blinking. I'm wondering if your mic is muted.
Mine?
Me?
Yeah, Kay. Yeah,
Hello.
I hear you.
it was fine. Yeah, but it was blinking. So I was like, was it muted? Because I also have a blue.
Can you hear me now?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
real quick, before we introduce our other very special guest,
Absolutely.
what are you volunteering for, Kay? Let the public
Yes, tell
know
us.
so they can
Please.
support.
So I volunteer for the Trevor Project. They are the leading crisis prevention and suicide prevention service for LGBTQ youth. So every Thursday night, I support LGBTQ youth, and it's the work I really love doing the most. I love it so much.
Oh,
Love
That
it.
is
So-
beautiful.
I don't
Snaps.
shut up about them at all. Thank you.
Then let's drink
so-
to them. Shall we drink to the
To the
Trevor
Trevor
Project?
Project? Yeah,
Absolutely. Let's do it.
the Trevor Project.
Mm. And Kay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know you're a co-host on the King of the Rings podcast, a part of Wrestle Addict
Correct.
Radio. Shout out to them. Do you still run their social media?
Right now, I'm just doing Kings of the Ring social media. I
Gotcha.
step away from Warren's social media because I went back to college and I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I have too much going on. I can't do it.
We're all booked and busy. We're all blessed
Yes.
and busy. I love it.
I'm really grateful to be booked and busy.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Yes. All right. Oh.
So do
wait.
you ladies want to introduce your very special guest next?
Absolutely,
And then
let's
we can
go.
get into the tea of it all.
Let's do it. Sure.
go ahead, Becky. I don't.
I'm sorry, I got distracted over here. So our next guest is a very special friend of mine. His name is Brandon. He is a queer wrestling fan and very, very good friend of mine. He has been to so many live events. You know what? Let's just have him come over.
Woo woo! Hi, Brandon.
Hello.
I can't hear you, honey. You're muted.
Okay, now you're
We're
not.
good.
You were good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Hi.
Of course. Thank you for being
We
here.
are so
Yeah.
happy to have you. What are you drinking?
I am so basic, and I'm just drinking White Claw.
Nice.
Yes, that is the best.
You can't go wrong.
That's how we do it here.
You honestly
That's
can't
how
go
we do
wrong.
it.
Can't go wrong
All
with a
right.
good White Claw.
So is Krista coming back, or is she officially
in and out.
She's in and out, but when she comes back
Right.
in, she'll, Krista, she got to make her grand
I know.
entrances, grand
Yeah.
exits. That's how it is. That's how it is. But I love that we're doing this, first of all, because this is the first June that we're able to do a
Yeah.
Thirsty Thursday. And I think it's important that we have Kay and Brandon on. And I would love to hear from you guys just about being a queer wrestling fan, because there's been a lot of talk today, especially about, you know, sort of the devalue of women's wrestling. And I feel like that also touches on what we're talking about, because a strong following that's passionate about women's wrestling is the LGBT community. And I want to talk about my experience going to Evolution and really seeing that for myself after everyone else. But I would love to hear from like you all, just your thoughts on that and some of what's been going on today and in general, just queerness in wrestling.
Well,
all right, that was a lot. I know.
Thank you. Well, I, as many people know, as everybody who listens to our podcast knows, both Jury and I, Walt Spice and myself, are very new wrestling fans.
Okay.
I have to say that the one thing that I truly appreciate from at least AEW is the fact that I feel like they do try to take a step forward with representing their queer wrestlers, which is not something that we necessarily see on WWE. And I mean, like, for example, right now, the only openly gay wrestler that we have with WWE is Jake Atlas. And as much as I love Baby Atlas, we only really see him during June. He only gets featured. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, Sonya, you're absolutely right. But Sonya is not wrestling, and she's on a managerial position. So, but truly, like, for example, Jake Atlas has like actual representation of his identity while he wrestles. He has his Rainbow DDT, which we don't really see with any other wrestler with the WWE right now. What's her name? I love her. She's Australian. She was in that really short feud with Candice. Yes, she is awesome. She is queer, and I don't feel like she has had the opportunity to open up regarding her sexuality at all with WWE. And I mean, it's got to be stifling, not just for a wrestler as a character, but just like as a person. If you can't have the liberty to just do with your character on the ring, like in the ring, whatever you feel would be appropriate, that is, you know, relevant to your identity. What are we doing? Like, how much more road needs to be paved for us to get to that point? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But WWE is not even acknowledging Pride at all this month. It's what, June 10th? Nothing.
Good point. I didn't even realize that. Great point.
And that's, as a queer wrestling fan, that's really frustrating because we get, as someone that was socialized as a woman, you know, we got minimal representation to begin with. Someone who's queer, we get even less representation. And someone who's non-binary, there's even less. As far as there's no openly non-binary people in WWE. At least AEW has Sunny Kiss, who uses both he, him, and she, her pronouns. And there's a lot more on the indies. There's no representation. None. It's really shitty.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that has anything to do with them potentially like alienating part of their fan base? Do you think that's why they're hesitant to do it? Or
that is
either way, they're alienating part of a fan base.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's like I try to give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes. I'm a very new wrestling fan as well. I've only been watching it for a couple years. And I went to my first event in New York. I do a lot of like indie events and things like that. And while I was there, I think they're a little more progressive in the city. But while I was there, they like broke out a fag chant at one of the wrestlers, and they did get thrown out. And I was like, oh, wow. So they did kind of take action with that. But then I started to like realize, I was like, this is probably like a pretty homophobic crowd, and maybe not necessarily in New York, but like, do you think with everything going on politically as well, like maybe they're just worried about?
I mean, I would say that just like Kay mentioned, they're definitely alienating part of the viewers of the fan base as it is, but that's the wrong choice of words, but if maybe they're worried that if they were to be more inclusive, that current fan base that would feel potentially threatened can become aggressive versus the queer and like ally fan base that's like, you know what, everybody deserves to enjoy wrestling. We're all here because we want to.
They're just scared, dude. It's
They
just,
are
let's call it for what it is. Vince doesn't
they're
have any
scared.
fucking balls. Can we just say that? Like, Vince doesn't have any fucking balls. Remember when Sonya was like, I wanted to pitch a romantic storyline with Mandy, and they were completely shut it down, and they were like,
Exactly,
no.
Yep.
Minnie is gay and she hates us. So it's like that's what it is. They're just fucking scared. And it is that whole thing because it is a lot of like, you know, we are in New York, so we see the world differently, but I'm from the fucking South, and I can tell you right the fuck now that shit would not fly over there. It's terrible. And it's like, it doesn't, and I think it's like with, you know, when they tour and whatever, that's something that they think about, but they're like inching to progress, like snails. Whereas AEW is out here
total
straight up just being like, here we have trans wrestlers, and here we don't give a fuck, and everybody can be whoever the hell they want to be, and that's what it is. So I just think it's Vince, dude. That's it. I feel like if it was in somebody else's hands, it would be 100% more progressive and it would be way faster. But it's Vince who's scared, and that's just what it is. He's just not about it. He's a fucking crotchety old ass man.
I totally agree.
I'm never working for them anyway, so I can say it.
Right. And it's funny because I, you know, just being a fan and, you know, because we do what we do, you think like, you know, WWE is that dream company that you want to work for. But it's like the more I'm learning about it, the more I'm like, I don't think I want to work for that company.
No, man. They had a referee who was like a QAnon conspiracy theorist for the longest time. You know how long it took him to get fired?
He keeps popping up on my suggested friend.
Why is Jackson Riker still on my screen and Braun Strowman isn't? I've asked my question already.
They let Aleister Black go.
Yeah.
They let
him. Absolutely not.
We had Velveteen Dream on for how long on getting on the payroll? How long? They don't think, dude, and they don't care. That's the problem.
They don't care. And they're not going to care as far as what we're talking about until there's like this mass societal change, like with the women's evolution.
Right.
Let's be real. The reason they did that was because the sports world was changing. And they knew that in order to be considered in that realm that they had to, because the Serena Williams and the Ronda Rouseys of the world were killing it. And WWE was like, oh shit, we don't showcase our women that way. And then they put on this marketing, you know, stunt for 2 years, you know, making it seem like, you know, that they're about it when they really weren't. So it's like, if you guys don't even value female performers like that, I can't imagine that you guys valuing, you know, a trans wrestler or someone that identifies differently, you know, and I think it is that fear that's there because let's be real, wrestling is masculine. Wrestling is all about that testosterone driven shit. And as much as WWE is $1 billion company, it's still very much that. It's still very much that toxic masculinity type situation. So, you know,
I mean, there are still people now who are like, oh man, Attitude Era was the best. And I'm like, yeah, if you weren't a woman. The fuck? Like, I hate it when people are telling me like Attitude Era was my favorite fucking
Cheers to that, man. Cheers to that.
No, seriously, I get so mad when they're like, oh, you just started watching wrestling. You should have watched it back when it was Attitude Era. I'm like, no, that would have made me not want to watch it. Like, you realize I'm a woman, correct? Like, come on. No, trash. Now is the best time. Now is the most exciting time for me as a woman to be watching wrestling. But yeah, it's terrible.
I did watch during the Attitude Era, and I don't romanticize it. And the older I get, the less I care to watch it. Like, and honestly, the more I fell into my queerness, is the less I started identifying with the Attitude Era. Like, but I don't know how you feel at wrestling shows, but I feel fucking awful. I feel so awkward because it is such a misogynistic, weird space to be in. And I feel uncomfy because I'm very femme presenting. So they all think I'm a girl, but I'm not. And then I hear shit, fag talk all the time. And I hate that word. It's so uncomfortable.
Are you in the city?
I'm on Long Island, but like I go to the city all the time. Yeah.
Okay. It's like, it's been very mixed at the ones I go to, like, so many of the people that are on AEW and as well as Jake Atlas and a lot of them, like I saw them on the indie scene and that's where they started. And it's exciting to see them like grow and then go to where they end up at. but I've had like mixed experiences. I've had like really great ones, and I'm like, wow, I really feel like I fit in here. And like when you see some of the queer wrestlers that are presented at the shows, how the audience reacts, I'm like, okay, I didn't know that there was a place for me here. I went to one of the Evolve shows, and Zack Sabre Jr., I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's an indie wrestler. He did this whole speech at the end of the event about how wrestling is for everybody and come as you are. And
I love that.
And I was like, oh, wow. And that was the first time I really felt at home.
That's so cool.
I think I can
Evolve
continue this, and I won't let this turn me off. But I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, it's trashy.
Yeah, and it might be easier for me to pass as well because I can like put on a black T-shirt and I'm 6'3" and I can just be quiet. And, so
I'm 5'2". I come in with like sparkly Doc Martens and a fanny pack and my wrestling shirt ready to go.
I love that. I love that.
I've never been.
Neither have I.
You've never been to any?
Never been to a wrestling show. No, because I got into wrestling during quarantine.
Literally during WrestleMania last year.
Yeah. Like so knowledgeable. Like when I listen to you guys.
Yeah. I literally,
Fake
WrestleMania.
It till you make it.
WrestleMania 36 was my first wrestling that I watched. Like after, like since I was like 10 or something. But it was like that's when I got into it, and then I texted Christina, and she was like, "We should start a podcast." I was like, "Okay."
Let's do it.
Done. And then I discovered them on Instagram, and then it's been like kismet ever since.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be our first year, like our anniversary episode. And so we turned it into a Kiki because, ayo, it's Pride, and our anniversary was in April. So.
Yeah. There you go.
Can we then, since we weren't able to do an official celebration, I think we should definitely toast to Facebook Pod turning.
One year old.
Little baby.
Yeah, little baby. Oh yeah.
That doesn't it doesn't sound like a long time, but like a year where you have to give up your time every single week.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sometimes Mondays.
Yeah, sometimes Mondays, but every Tuesday.
Is
anyone thank you. Is anyone going to SummerSlam? Just me?
No.
I'm debating. I can't decide.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
You're not going?
I was actually going to like splurge and like she might come back. She might come back.
That's why I'm going.
That's what.
It's the only reason.
No, I was gonna splurge and go to SummerSlam. I just came from Vegas. I was gonna splurge and do it, and then when I heard that Mickie James is producing her female pay-per-view the following weekend, I was like, oh no, I was in St. Louis. I was like, you know what? I think I'd rather splurge, especially like with the recent developments and like Triple H's comments about fucking women's wrestling. Like, I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not splurging to do that. I'd rather I'm sorry to say, like, I'd rather support Mickie James than like what she's doing.
I don't even know what he said. What did he say?
So he did a media call today, and I'm gonna pull up. So Sean Ross usually
a strike two Triple H.
He recaps media calls, and they were asked about another all-female show, and Triple H was basically like, "Oh, didn't we do that already?" Like very much like And then this is what I hate, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Is when people be like, "Oh, well," his thing was, "Okay, well, if we did an all-male show and excluded women, then we get criticized for that." You mean what's been happening for the fucking rest of time?
Madonna fucking time?
Right.
That's like the equivalent of like straight pride.
That sounds like all lives matter to me.
Right.
I'm not even joking. That sounds like all lives matter. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's
not how it's 2021, boo-boo.
That really turned me off.
Didn't they?
Is all men.
Yeah.
Didn't they say?
What was it? There are 6 women on SmackDown right now. But didn't they say like, oh, if we did an all women's show, then nobody would watch the other ones because they would only watch the women?
I agree with that.
I heard somebody say that they were like, oh, the reason that, or is that what that they told Mickie or something, that they couldn't do it, or because then nobody would watch the men.
Yep, they told Mickie that
if it's Drew McIntyre, bitch, I'm watching.
I don't believe this. I don't believe it. I feel like it's a false narrative. They told Mickie James that Evolution was the lowest rated pay-per-view with the lowest pay-per-view buys, that people don't want to see the women without the men, like all this bullshit, which I know is false. And then this is a good segue into my experience at the Evolution pay-per-view, because I had just got back into wrestling like 2017-ish. And then when Evolution happened, everyone knows that's why we started our podcast, because we were fucking, excited about that. And 85% of the Evolution crowd was a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Wow. And that was very eye-opening to me, because it's like, wow, when you think of wrestling live shows, you see like a lot of, white cis men, and, you do see families and kids, don't get me wrong, but I never knew that was such a strong, part of the wrestling audience. And I'm like, do you know how much money WWE is leaving on the fucking table by not, capitalizing on that? So many, men dressed up as Vicky Bella. Like, I'm just like, do you know how much more merch you would like? It's mind boggling to me. Yeah. It really is.
Like, if Vince or even Triple H were to be just focusing on the statistics and on the, the dollar signs, the dollar bills, guys, at least acknowledge June. At least fucking acknowledge June. Every other fucking corporation does. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that it's like, okay.
They're not
I'm not
stupid.
saying that I like it.
They know what they're doing. That's the thing that pisses me off. I'm like, you're not dumb, Vince.
You're not dumb.
They're kind of representing it less than they normally do. In the past, Sonya Deville's gotten a shirt. Finn's had a shirt. A few of them have had like a rainbow out. I have to check right now, but I haven't seen it.
I think that Fandango was wearing a rainbow bracelet last NXT. I remember last year somebody had I think that it was Dolph Ziggler had a little rainbow flag on his pants, but this year only Fandango that last week, and that's it. That's all I've seen.
That whole no hate campaign one year too, like
3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, right?
Whenever it was big, the no hate thing. Yeah.
But then that also goes to the argument that everything is performative and for marketing purposes. Because if you guys really wanted to support this community, it would be in the plans every fucking year. Like they did a Pride photo shoot a couple years ago. It was beautiful. Sonya Deville, really all the wrestlers were a part of it. So my thing is the fact that, and I work in digital marketing, the fact that that's not in the plans for every year. Also, let's not even start the fact that this should happen more than in June, but that's a whole other that's a whole other topic.
That was my whole point.
Right, but the fact that you guys don't even capitalize it in June, you guys have a way bigger, and this is what's frustrating and sad, is that WWE at this point has a bigger platform and stage than they ever have. So the fact that you're not using this opportunity to show that you support these fans, and also wrestlers on your roster that identify in that way is it's heartbreaking, to be honest.
Do y'all think that the fact that there's been zero representation this year on for Pride has anything to do with the fact that they started their campaign in Saudi Arabia?
No. They've been under contract with Saudi Arabia before this. Like, when did the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view start? Like 2017, 2018-ish?
2018.
I think it was 2018.
And a lot of people, and it was right, I think maybe a week or so after or before Evolution. And the Evolution build-up was very poor because they kept pushing this
2018
show. The Super Showdown. So a lot of people are saying that they wanted to placate fans because of the Saudi Arabia show, and also because Ronda Rousey was on the roster. Like, there's a lot of factors of why Evolution happened, but I do think it had a lot to do with people being like questionable about the Saudi Arabia deal. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Okay. All right. I don't know. That was just something that I threw in the air because I know that is outlawed. So maybe if they have maybe they're just focusing on what would that or part of what would that fan base say. I don't know. I'm speculating.
No, that's a really valid point though. Totally valid.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
What do we know?
I would like to take another sip just because, and then I want to. I want to thank everyone that is joining us right now. I see Mike in the comments, family and friend of the podcast. Hi, Audrey. I see you. Oh my God. Hey, Audrey. Hi.
Hello.
You want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, my name's Adriana, aka Audrey Padre on Twitter and my Instagram. Yeah, that's
Hi.
So I'm glad that you're joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
And you're someone who is very passionate about what we're talking about. So I'm glad that you were able. I'm always like sending her StreamYard links at the last minute. And I appreciate you for jumping on.
I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll join. I just got out of the shower, so I'm sorry I look like garbage right now.
Girl.
Not at all. But I do want to kind of change the tone a little bit because outside of WWE, and I have been learning this more and more, there are other promotions out there
Absolutely.
that are way more inclusive. So I would like to celebrate some of the queer wrestlers that are out, that are performing and all that kind of stuff.
Do it.
So I want to start with Sunny Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And only because I'm like super jelly of like his booty. Like I'm like my cheeks don't sit
Ridiculous.
like that.
Okay,
Ridiculous.
so I've seen Sunny Kiss a bunch on the indies. The jiggle's more magnificent in real life.
Okay, I gotta pull up a pic now.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm like, ooh.
Everything.
Oh my goodness, look at that booty. Hello.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen.
You know what?
really quick.
Having a peach.
Mm-hmm. I want to drink to that booty.
We got a drink to Sunny Kisses.
Drink the booty.
Wow.
I'm very
Yeah.
sorry. I have a drink.
Yes. Look at that booty.
Cute.
Yeah, so cute. And what I love about Sunny is he's very unapologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Love it.
I love it. And he was engaged to another wrestler at one point, which sounds like that's a huge deal. Like they were an out couple in the fucking wrestling industry. Like
Wow.
Fucking beautiful,
I
man.
love to
that
see
is
it.
beautiful.
Oh.
I don't know if they're still together, but when I learned that and the fact that they were out about it and they support each other openly, they've wrestled each other, that's huge.
That is
That's
big.
fucking
Yeah. That is big.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
But-
I really appreciated that.
Oh,
Oh wait, sorry. I wanted to be able to do the sounds again.
Are we? Do you need me to play just to check? Tamina, don't bark. No.
Oh god, so did you guys know her dogs are named Tamina and Naya?
I was about
Oh my
I was like, is this the
Yeah.
Tamina we're talking about?
Tamina, be quiet. We're talking. The adults are talking.
Who are some other queer wrestlers that you guys follow?
Let me.
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose.
Yes, Nyla Rose, always and forever.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Effie?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
I haven't.
very, very out there. It's very like a subset of wrestling, I would say.
Okay.
But he's fantastic and sweet and unapologetic, and I think he's great. He does a lot
Where-
for the community. He does a lot of charity work
He does.
with his.
Mhm.
What promotion
Did
is
they
he
get
with
friends?
right now?
Right now, he's with GCW, which
Okay.
they do. They're a decent size. They'll follow WWE around for the live events, and they'll do like their own show in that city.
Okay.
But I've seen them twice this year in Atlantic City already, and they're in Chicago, so they were decent.
Okay,
They come to
nice.
New York a lot, into Brooklyn.
All
He
right.
really does. Yep. He's really big in that community, and he's always representing as much as he can, which I love. And I definitely want to go to we got to go to one of his shows one of these days.
I want to go to
Yes.
Paris is bumping so bad.
I'm going.
Are you?
Is that the one? Is that the one on June 10th?
That's the one on
July?
yeah, July. Mhm. I'm going with. Can I plug a Facebook
Yes,
group? I'm a
yes,
part of?
Please
yes,
do.
yes, yes.
Please
Yes.
do.
It's an LGBT Facebook group, and I've met so many amazing people on here. I added Christina. There's a couple hundred in the one that I'm in. It's mostly, I would say, mostly males, but they are obsessed with women's wrestling, and that's how I started getting into women's wrestling more, and like the WWE and things like that. It's LPWC. Yeah, and they're great, amazing people, and a whole group of us are going to Paris is Bumping, so you guys should go too if you're
Oh
in the
my
city.
God.
Brandon already has his tickets. I am trying to
What's
figure
the
out my
date?
life. It's
Where is
July
it?
10th, right? Sunday,
Yeah,
July
it's in
10th.
New Jersey.
Oh, okay. I will definitely try to make it. I've actually been
I
trying
can
to
probably go.
work with. I think Billy Dixon runs that show. Chris and I have been trying to like connect with them to do like some, because at this point we're like, you know what, those wrestling girls has a strong community, and we want to use that platform for these sorts of things. So we've been reaching out to like Paris is Bumping and these sorts of promotions. Like I'd rather use our energy to promote those sorts of promotions as opposed to like. I look at WWE as Disney. They don't need my extra promotion.
They don't need it. Yeah, you're right.
In the shower today.
They're good.
You guys are in the theater, right?
I am personally am not. Krista B is, and I wish she was here
What?
because she loves
What'd you say?
Broadway.
Into Broadway.
I love Broadway.
That's what I compare it to. I'm like, WWE is Disney on Broadway, and then like we have like the up and coming shows, and the other ones like the underground. The tourists aren't going to look for it, but they're just amazing.
That's basically it.
It is. That's legit it.
Oh, we forgot about Shayna, by the way.
Oh,
Shayna.
yes, it's a long list. It's a long list. Yeah, Shayna Baszler. I believe she's in a relationship. I don't want
with Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
What?
Which is really
That's a thing. Yeah.
They've never confirmed it themselves.
Did you not know that?
But
I knew they were both queer. I didn't know they were together.
They're together.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
I'm with you, Kay. Like I knew that they were queer. I just didn't know that they were together.
Thought that was common knowledge.
Well, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's have a drink to that.
I'm gonna drink to that. Okay.
Like I want to say she said it on Twitch, but maybe not.
Shayna's dad actually said
I thought Dakota said it.
Shayna brought Dakota to like her hometown to see snow for the first time.
Oh, as a New Yorker that went to college upstate, ew. No, sucks.
Ew. I love it.
So really quickly, so you guys know, I like surprises. I throw the StreamYard link to family of the podcast. And I actually, I'm just gonna let Jizzy from Deadass Girls introduce I'm in Baltimore right now.
Pride. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I'm in Baltimore right now, but New York is fucking repping in this fucking shit right now. So we gotta take an additional drink to that.
New York sip.
Cheers.
New York sip.
I'm sorry, I don't have a drink, so I'll just do a peace sign.
Do you have water?
Do you have water?
I don't even have my water with me. I'm just here.
You gotta hydrate too, girl.
You gotta hydrate.
In Audrey's defense, what I tell you,
York
I texted her like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. You get a pass. You get a pass.
Okay. I'll just do the peace sign every time. So
Nice. But I do want to give Jizzy a chance to introduce herself and give and plug it just in case people are not familiar with Deadass Girls podcast. I am going to post y'all links up in this comments.
All right. So I'm Giselle, aka Jizzy from the Deadass Girls podcast. Me and PR have done several collabs in the past, of course, before the pandemic. So me and my bestie Gina, we honestly, the podcast is extremely R-rated. The fact that we haven't gotten canceled yet is a surprise to us. Because there have been some shit. And we talk about wrestling, we talk about music, anime, and whatever the fuck.
Yes.
That's it.
Welcome back.
What up, Krista?
Krista B is back.
I'm back. It was glitching on me. It sucks. I'm sorry. It's been glitching on me.
Wait, Krista, look who's here. Jizzy from Deadass Girls.
I see. Jizzy.
Krista, you're 4 drinks behind. Start chugging. You're 4 drinks behind. Start chugging.
I'm driving.
I like how she's behind the wheel and you're like,
chug. My cup is empty.
I tried.
Listen,
I tried.
When I get home, I'm gonna FaceTime you and I'm gonna take my 4, okay?
Girl,
Okay.
I'll be
There
waiting.
you go. There you go.
So randomly, because I know Kay has to go in like maybe 10 minutes, I'm curious to know how Kay and Brandon got into wrestling. Because Brandon, you said you were a relatively new wrestling fan. Like, what got you into wrestling?
So I've been watching for a few years. Through my job in New York, I met, I don't know if you guys know what Ring of Honor is. His name's Kerry. He founded Ring of Honor, and I met him through my job, and I had like kind of been like watching or flipping through, and then one day I put 2 and 2 together that it was the same one. The Kerry I'd been talking to was him, and he's like, "Oh, you should come to some live shows or something." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be down." So I went, and I fell in love with it. I love the atmosphere. It's exactly like Broadway without music. It's just violent theater.
That's true. That's
So
exactly
it's just
true.
kind of what I was into. It's very over the top and gimmicky, and I just felt a little bit like home, even though it's not perfect all the time. It was a good place to escape.
I think that you and I might have started watching wrestling around the same time.
I think so.
I think so, because Brennan and I met because we were working together. We were working for different companies, but on the exact same spot. So we if I am timing the timeline to when he met this person through his job, it's probably around the same time. So what, like 2016?
Yeah, about that's
Something
when I
like
got
that?
like pretty heavily.
That's a
into
good
it.
time to start watching wrestling.
Yeah, no, it was really damn good. That's how I met my baby Roman Reigns, and he shall stay forever
Oh my
in
God,
my
our
heart.
baby.
Excuse you.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Crystal, you heard it. Did you forget that she was
Kristen
here?
came back. I forgot
Just
Kristen
was
came
gonna
back.
say, did you forget that she was here? Because holy
I think you meant our babe.
PR.
I was like, damn,
I
she
don't know
feeling
why.
froggy today. She feeling
She
froggy
wants
today.
me to always sleep on her ass.
I was like, you straight. I knew it. I knew you forgot that she was there. I was like, you must have forgotten. Like,
I totally did.
I had to take myself off of mute and turn the radio on because they're playing music over here. Sis, stop playing.
I'm so sorry.
Go back on mute now. Thanks.
she fucking forgot. That is fucking comedy. Wow.
So I also want to know, just because I don't think me and Jizzy have talked about this, but earlier we had brought up the topic, like, do you think WWE, so this is the 1 year in a couple years that they have not celebrated Pride, they have not mentioned it or anything. Do you think that they're trying to alienate that audience? Like, do you think they're afraid to embrace it at this point because they're now on Peacock? What are your thoughts on that?
So we actually spoke about it a little bit on our podcast, and this was like a couple episodes ago, where we feel like WWE, just like any corporation, to them, Pride is just another way to suck a dollar off of somebody. Like, I don't really think they really give a fuck, because if they did, Darren Young would be here repping Pride all day, every day. Like, the fact that y'all had sexually ambiguous Finn Balor, even though I think Finn is bi, but you know, whatever.
I heard he's asexual too.
Yeah, like
I love everything about that, if that's the case.
but I feel like the way that they do push it, it's not the same as how they push everything else. So I mean, to be honest, like it kind of sucks, because it's like, if they were to go gun-ho with it and actually let, you know, any wrestler that fits into the LGBTQIA plus community, like if they let any of them actually like speak out and rep it, you know, it'd be better. But now it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I bought the fucking t-shirt. Like, I fell prey to capitalism. I bought the t-shirt, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's a little disingenuous. It could. The weird thing is, for them to be with Peacock and to downplay it, that makes no sense, because Peacock really be pushing the envelope. Like, they really be pushing the gay agenda. So, and when I say that, I mean it like a lot of their shows, like they do introduce a lot of LGBTQ characters, and you know, they actually are like in the forefront. So I'm a little surprised as to why WWE wouldn't do that. Then again, I mean, AEW's in the same boat.
I think it's a mindset, you know, like, because we have WWE who's pushing Sonya Deville because she's a beautiful woman.
Right.
But they wouldn't push Darren Young in the same way. And he was like the first African American male wrestler to come out as gay. And then all of a sudden he was facing all this scrutiny and facing all this, well, you're no good for the company because this is not what we sell. You should have just been in the closet. And this is what gay people have a hard time with, because if you're in the community who supports you, bad enough you're black, bad enough you're black male, and then you got to be a black gay male in a world where it's already male dominated, and then you can't even have my back on that. So then you just give me ancient matches and don't even put me on the screen no more, and I don't have to like literally, go about my business. But when it comes into a white female, I can celebrate this because I think girl on girl action is hot. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
No man is gonna, unless that's what you're into. No heterosexual man who is afraid of their sexuality is gonna sit here and think a guy on guy is hot, and it's something that you cannot sell.
Well, lesbians are just hot. Lesbians are more marketable than a gay man.
That's so stupid. Like, I mean,
I know,
but before it gets any later, because we also know that you need to get going. How did you get into wrestling, Kay?
I have been watching wrestling literally forever, but probably the peaks of my obsessions were high school. So I graduated high school in 2009. So 2005 to 2009 was a very peak time for me. I stopped in around 2011, and then I came back in 2016 as well, and started going to I had never been to a wrestling event until 2017, and then by 2019 I joined Kings of the Ring podcast.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
It's been a long journey, but here we are.
Here we are.
We're still here.
Yeah.
I'll bring my origin story back into the forefront, because like some people know that I started watching wrestling through Glow, and I was like 5 or 6. I should have known I was gay by then. Like like I'm not straight, because this is real fun. So just saying. But my grandma was like, "See, mamita, just watch that. Just watch the women. I don't want you watching the men." And I was like, "No, that's okay. I'll watch the women."
Sure, no problem.
I'll watch the women.
Say less, Ma. Say less.
I got you, grandma.
For sure, Trish was part of my bisexual awakening. So I'm like,
I still think about Deborah's boobs.
Huh?
I still think about Deborah's boobs. Like, and that was like, mind you, I'm like 9-10 years old and fixated on Deborah's cleavage, and I'm just like, what is happening?
Literally.
Right?
And the fact that she was married to like the love of my life, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm like, I'm down with it.
I'm down with
I need to be part of this couple.
I love everything about this.
I'm like, eat her cookie, Stone Cold.
Like, excuse me, I'm just gonna scoot in through here, right here in the middle.
But I do wanna let Kay, because I know they have to go soon. But I want you to talk about King of the Ring podcast. Plug it. I have the link to the Trevor Project in here. But I would love for you to be able to plug and leave your lasting message with the public.
All right, I have a bunch of shit to plug. So my podcast, King of the Ring podcast, and the rest of our network, Wrestle Addict Radio, we are doing our annual Pride fundraiser. If you go, so this T-shirt right here,
Cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
I designed it.
Nice.
So I designed this. We have 9 designs this year for the various shows and podcast hosts on our network. 100% of the proceeds go to the Trevor Project. Thank you. So if you go to wrestle-addict-radio.spring.com, you can pick up any of these shirts. All the money for the shirts goes to the Trevor Project, so that money will help them continue to provide free crisis counseling through phone, text, or chat 24 hours a day for free. You can find my podcast, King of the Ring podcast, at KOTR_podcast. You can find Wrestle Addict Radio on Twitter at addict_wrestle, on Instagram at Wrestle Addict Radio, and you can find me everywhere at VK Murphy, TheKae Murphy. And I don't think I have anything else to plug. Thank you guys for having me. This has been fucking
Thank you for
fun.
being here.
Thank you so much for being here.
I cannot even express how thankful I am that you were able to make it. And we have been trying to work together since we worked together
It's been like
last
2
year.
months.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, are you free? Oh my God, are you free? So I'm so glad that you were able to join us. And I also want to thank you for the work that you do with the Trevor Project, because you volunteer and you are an advocate and an ally, and you represent all year round, 365.
That's true.
So I want to thank you even just for that, because you remind, like I said earlier, like you reminded us that it's important to like give back. And I like
That means so much.
I don't know if you remember, Kay. I don't know if you remember, but you gave me a list of nonprofit organizations. To support.
Last year I remember you messaged me.
Yeah, right. And I'm just like, that's something that will always mean a lot to me, because it's like, you know, the fact that you're so, you know, tuned into advocacy is very inspiring and motivating to us. So I want to thank you, Kay, for joining us. And make sure everyone checks out
Here's the Kay.
Sing in the Rain podcast. Yes.
Here's the Kay.
Radio. I put those links to the shirt. Buy the shirt. Support.
Thank you for
And
having
you
me.
are.
Support. And you are welcome to any Thirsty Thursday that we do.
Whenever
So
you
I
want.
will literally harass you with the StreamYard link every month.
Yeah. So okay. So I do Trevor Thursday nights, except the third Thursday of every month. So we will find one. We get one random day. Okay.
Nice.
So we have a set shift that we do, but we can have one of those shifts off for self-care, because they very much care about the well-being of their employees and volunteers.
Very nice.
Because the
Very
work
nice.
is, So one of my self-care days, we'll have to do this again.
Yay!
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kay.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Kay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Hey, shout out Jabba Tears Network. We see y'all.
Yeah.
So that's how
Okay,
I
guys.
met Jizzy.
One thing. I am so sorry. My phone is so super fucking disrespectful. StreamYard sucks on the phone. And even that's what I got to say about that. That's it. Sorry,
No, like StreamYard, get an app. Like it's about that time. It's about that time. But I have a question for you guys. We've talked about it in the past, but I didn't hear what Brandon and Gigi feel about that. So I don't know if you ladies remember, we talked about whether Brandon. So remember we were saying how Sonya Deville had like pitched a lesbian storyline with Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
And I personally was glad that WWE didn't go with it, because I didn't think they can handle it in a respectful way.
Right.
Now with some time removed, I would love to more talk about if WWE did try to do like a lesbian storyline.
I still don't think that they're ready.
But didn't they try that with Lana and Liv
And
Morgan
Liv,
though?
yep.
They did.
And
I
it
feel
bombed.
like with them, I feel like, and hopefully I can say this before my phone decides to cut off. I got the air conditioner on right now, so it's gonna be cool. I feel like with the writers, and we know who's writing, Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon is in creative. We know that mindset that they have, so they cannot execute it properly.
Yeah, that's
There are a lot
true.
more different ways
That's true.
to execute a LGBTQIA plus storyline, to where it's not like from the 80s, to where it's just like, oh, I'm dressed up in a nurse's uniform or something real cheesy like that to get the audience's attention. I feel like Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose storyline, that's where it was going. To be honest, that's where it was going. The whole Sonya Deville being jealous of Mandy Rose and her attacking her, whatever, it was leading to, I'm only doing this because I've been in love with you and you left me and you went that way and I went down. But because we have these writers who are senior citizen as white men, because Bruce Pritchard is past the
basically
senior citizen as white men who has that one ass stale ass mindset, is not gonna go to where we can, the creative process stops at a certain point. That's why they're so scared to push that envelope. It was cool when it was Attitude Era and it was like girl on girl and girls going wild and shit, but now it's actually a topic that a lot of your
that is
fans
relevant.
are part of a community. Exactly.
I mean, it's always been relevant, but it's in the forefront. Why aren't you keeping up with the times? That's what I meant.
Exactly. So
And
I
to
feel
be
like
honest,
they're scared too
WWE
because
doesn't have the
they're stuck in that
respect.
mind frame. They're stuck in that mind frame of like, oh,
If
this is
Disney
how this is
Channel
gonna be
can
it.
do it, if the Disney Channel can do it,
Period.
then so
Period.
can anyone. Then it's possible.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face. Miss me with
the
all that.
censorship
You're
is
able to do it. The Disney Channel's able to do it and not give a fuck. The WWE should be able to do it.
Rugrats
And
reboot made Betty DeVille
Yes.
a lesbian.
Yes.
She was a lesbian the whole time.
She's always. Listen. We watched that when we were kids. We all know that they were each other's beards.
Yeah, it's
They
true.
were, they were an older couple with twins. They had an IV. Sir, come on! Like they tried IV treatment.
I knew that even when I was a kid watching that. I'm like, these people aren't straight.
Yeah.
I'm trying right now. Before I even knew like what gay was, I'm like, this isn't it.
PBS did it. PBS is the epitome of the Kids Channel Network. If PBS
Didn't they-
with Arthur and Mr. Ratburn, WWE could do it and call it a day.
They need fresh blood in the writers' room. That's what
Yeah,
they
they do.
need. They need
That's
fresh
what it
blood.
is.
They need people who are younger, who are fans, who know,
Yeah.
who have an app for it. They need new writers in it. It's
They do.
too.
Yeah.
Speaking of, shout out to the 2 women of color.
I was gonna
who
say
are
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for. Mhm.
that just got hired to be writers for SmackDown.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Christina, just count for me. So when I get home, I got you. Just count for me. This is number 6.
You're at
I
five.
was gonna say
You're
that
at
'cause I-
6. You're at 6.
It's a 6. Okay. I'm gonna just group FaceTime y'all. I'm just going to take the bottle to the head. Okay. All right.
I'm
Wait.
just gonna. Yep. I'm gonna be timing you. Go on.
You made a great point earlier, and I would love to hear what Brandon and Ginny have to say about this. And Audrey, the fact that Sonya Deville is attractive has a lot to do with the fact that they are presenting her the way that they're presenting her.
Yep.
I hate to be that pessimist. I've turned to Krista B. I'm you now because WWE has broken my heart. Sonya B is attractive for male, like no matter what gaze you're coming from, Sonya Deville is attractive, and I think that's a big reason, and also why they put her on the reality show. Like, what are your thoughts on that, or am I bugging?
No,
You're not bugging.
No, you are right. You are correct. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with anything, and like musical theater is the same way. Like you have to have a certain type of look, So it makes sense.
Which is bullshit.
And it is, but it's true though. And I think it definitely helps that she looks the way she does. I feel like maybe if she wasn't, then I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't be pushed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I hate it here.
Say that Sonya Deville's real life girlfriend looks exactly like Mandy. Okay, so say that.
Wait, no, that's Mandy.
Maybe a storyline. Maybe it's not a storyline. Maybe they do be, playing finger traps in the hotel when they're
I
traveling.
feel like that too. I feel like them 2 do get it on a little bit. But whatever floats your boat. I'm here for it.
Listen.
You understand? I'm
just saying.
Be great.
I'm just saying they could drop the video real quick. So for research purposes, of course, I can watch for research. And then there's
Research.
For my PhD project that I'm writing.
I'm gonna take a shot to research.
Wait, hold on. I wasn't sharing the screen. Okay.
That's number 7 for me. I'm keeping count. Okay.
Also,
You better.
something else about Sonya and Mandy. So remember when Sonya was dealing with that stalker that like broke into her house?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mandy was there that night.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
And at first, it was like an unidentified person was in the home, and then we found out it was Mandy.
Yeah.
And then like the pervert side of me was like, ooh. Mandy's staying overnight. Because Mandy's also hot, traditionally hot.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that they tease that is, I don't think, a coincidence at all.
But you know what it is too? It's like I yes, it would be great to have a lesbian storyline or just any, alphabet mafia storyline. All right. I'm gonna say alphabet mafia because saying all the letters over and over again, I get tripped up. But I will also say too, it's like it kind of like if I were Sonya Deville and you came up to me and be like, yo, listen, we're gonna do a lesbian storyline, I would feel like, wait, why are you pigeonholing me into a storyline just because I'm gay? It's like it's similar to what they do to, you know, wrestlers of color. They're like, yo, listen, you Latino, you Latinx, you a luchador, we're gonna make a Spanish storyline just for you. Or oh hey, you're a black wrestler, we're gonna make a black wrestling story for you. And it's like in one point, yes, cool representation, but then on the other side you kind of think of it like, yo, I'm more than that. Like just because I identify as
absolutely
I
agree.
I would agree with you.
It goes back to that mindset. Like they don't know. You have white men trying to write for people of color, people who are not a part of the same heritage, people who don't understand our culture, but only what they see, and what they see is something negative. Like when Naomi was in Team Bad, it was all attitude and ratchet. Like my cousin, and God bless her soul, because you know she doesn't watch wrestling. She saw Bianca. She was like, "Oh, so now we letting ratchet people on TV?" And come think about it, like aside from whatever, like her whipping her hair and her I know that she has a place in that, and I'm not saying that she's ratchet or whatever, but to the untrained eye or those who don't know us, perceive us as that.
Right.
Yeah. I hear you.
That's not fair. Like I'm not saying Bianca is ratchet. You know, that's the sis. That's another BFF of the show.
We love her. Love her.
But to the untrained eye, this is how they act all the time. Let them pop their gum and let them smack their weave. Beyonce say smack your weave. So yeah, let them smack their weave.
Yeah.
You understand? That's that mindset, because again, aside from those two black women who just got hired to be a part of the SmackDown writers, we didn't have nobody for us.
Right.
That's true. That's
at
true.
all.
It's the fact that you have rich white men that are writing and controlling it.
That's what's uncomfortable.
That's why it's like I don't really trust WWE to write a solid storyline
ever.
Like a lesbian gay, storyline.
I go in there low expectations, and if something happens that is like worth something, I'm like, oh my God, look at God. But otherwise, yeah, I'm like, oh wow. Otherwise, I'm just like, yeah, that's about right.
Cringe.
Cringe.
I just want to answer Andy George, who I think is on YouTube. When I say Alphabet Mafia, that means the LGBTQIA. So that just FYI.
And I just finished watching The Sopranos, so he's like, "What the mafia? What they got to do?" And I'm like, "Wait, let's clarify." What that really?
All right, that's what I meant. So
I heard that term first on TikTok. I knew exactly what you were talking about. I was like,
on TikTok as well. So I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Can I also just do like a shameless plug? Please listen to Deadass Girls, because it is so much more than a wrestling podcast. It's fucking hilarious. You will not have a straight face listening to it. And they literally talk about everything, especially like anime and stuff like that. And then me and Wilkins from Joppa Cheers was on once, and I think we like
that is like the longest episode. It was like 3.5 hours because I was way too lazy to. Well, first of all, it was like 4 hours, but I edited half an hour out. I could have done more, but I was lazy and I was like, "Fuck it, everybody's about to listen to this. Fuck, what you doing? You're gonna listen to the 3.5 hours." I know everyone through like social media and shit, and I know that we actually were on Those Wrestling Girls for a couple times, maybe like once, I guess.
And P shows her ass.
Okay, did I show my ass, or was I myself for once, and I felt comfortable because Jizzy let me do me?
Not showing your ass and then she was like showing out whatever. But to me, as long as we record up until that point, I saw the more timid, more reserved.
Yeah.
Come on, and I'm just like, oh. Oh my God!
And the funny thing about that is, like, it was funny because, like, right after it was like while we're recording, and Chris is just looking over. She's like, "What the fuck? Who is this?" And then it's funny because like no lie, like I'm not even trying to.
And like ratchet, not rat. I wouldn't say ratchet. Ratchet is such a bad word. We got to desensitize ratchet.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's usually out there. I'm the one that's usually like open book, and but P came on. I'm just like, are you me? What happened?
It was today.
Yeah.
It was today.
It was today, right? Exactly. It was.
And the funny thing is, like, I see, you know, Facebook. Like, I know you guys do social media.
We know you do social media.
Reaches out for collaborations, and we tend to kind of like not do them a lot. And I think I told PR this a while ago. It's because we have done collaborations where they clearly don't know how we act. So then we get on, either me or Gina, mostly me, and then they're surprised as to the energy that comes over. They're like, oh, what the fuck? And like, listen, don't waste my time. Like, I'm not a professional. I'm not a media person. I'm not someone who is trained with social graces. I'm gonna say what I'm saying, and not on a disrespectful way either, because you know there's some people who just say shit just to say shit.
Right.
You know, like certain podcasts who will not be named, but you know, then there's like the whole like, hey, you know, like this is someone who's keeping it real. And
Wait,
PR, I know I owe you a collab.
Jizzy, 1 minute, you said that part right there, and the real Brooklyn in me is about to be like, air it out. We'll do that.
Nah. Like there was one that I did recently. Yeah, there was one that I did recently that, I could tell that they reached out because they know my tweets be popping off. But anyways, whatever. Thank you for having me on here, PR. I owe you a collaboration. That will be happening soon.
Oh, and I love that you were able to join because your platform is very sex positive. And I just felt like your energy would be perfect for this show. Especially because it's during Pride Month and everyone on this panel or whatever, this party, Thirsty Thursday is a fucking party.
Yes, it is.
Toast to that. We're allies, we're sex positive, we're all about inclusion. I just noticed that Brandon's shirt says wrestling is gay.
I'm just gonna comment on it.
I love that.
And I want that shirt.
Think about it. You got grown ass, sexy ass men,
bro. Every time, balls to the face. Every time,
cradling each other.
Okay,
you know,
hand on the
wrestling.
Okay,
is the gayest.
People whispering in each other's ears. It's literally looking like Cody, timandcody.com. Wait, no, what is it?
Every day I watch wrestling.
There you go.
There's
That's
balls to the face.
Okay.
They even put their butt in their faces. Rikishi was rubbing his ass in niggas' faces.
Literally.
Right. Like I'm over here thinking like, oh shit, man, on Pornhub, let me change the tabs real quick.
That's why like people are so shocked sometimes. They're like, oh, you watch wrestling? And I'm like,
it's like you don't.
I'm like, what?
I'm always like, you don't. Hello?
Hi, guys.
I wish more gay guys got into wrestling because how else for 3 hours on a Monday, 2 hours on a Tuesday, 2 hours on a Friday, you go watch hot, sexy men who
and that's only with WWE.
Right. Like maybe they're straight, maybe they're power bottoms, maybe they're switches, whatever. And you see them half naked, oiled up, wet up. What? Come on. That's a gay man's dream.
Exactly. I was tweeting about this the other day saying like, how is it that there are so many homophobes that are into wrestling? I'm like, it's literally the gayest shit.
Exactly.
That's a contradiction right there. Yeah. That's an oxymoron. That is definitely an oxymoron.
And you know what else? You know what I'm gonna say right now?
Into wrestling, I don't get it.
I'm gonna say right now, wrestling is built off of the male gaze. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Right? Only men be talking about muscled up. You know, you gotta have that certain look. Like when a man says, "Yeah, man, that guy looks good. That guy looks handsome." I'm like, listen, you little freak. I know what you're into. Okay? You think, wrestling is an art form. Hentai is also an art form, yet I still get wet off of it. So, you know,
yes.
I remember.
I didn't know.
I'm gonna to that bitch. I know.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take a drink to
I
that.
have a funny story about hentai. So I was dating a guy that was really into anime, right? And I didn't know what anime was at the time. Like over like almost 10 years ago, I didn't know what it was.
Go on to
hentai.com. I went on his laptop. I went on his laptop and I saw that he had a lot of movie files that I assumed was anime. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch one of these and I'm gonna get into his interest. And I find out it was hentai.
Oh.
And I'm like,
right. Like,
I had no idea what that was.
I was like, oh my god. And he was like, that's not anime.
Let me do you a favor, Brandon. Just Google yaoi. Just go with yaoi.
Oh yeah, go Google yaoi. It's Y-A-O-I-O.
Y-O. Wait, Y-A.
No, it's Y-A-O-I-O.
There we go. Yaoi. You're welcome.
My first experience with porn as a child was hentai.
Thank you.
Yes. One day you're looking at Sailor Moon, and next thing you know, you see Sailor Moon transforming with Neptune.
Listen. My first experience PR is gone.
Oh man.
She is gone.
can we please not ruin my Sailor Moon? Like,
listen.
Trust me, I get
Listen, to everybody who's watching this, hentaihaven.com, visit after hours.
What are you talking about ruining Sailor Moon? Like,
Sailor
Haruka and Michiko are fucking together. Literally together.
Listen, Tuxedo Mask is canonically bi.
Yes,
There's no proof to that, but I just said it, so there you go.
The Sailor the Sailor Starlight or whatever the name was on the last season, they are transgender men.
Mm-hmm. And if we talk about anime, we talking about gay anime. The intersection of wrestling fans and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fans.
I mean, come on.
Oh my God, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
So there's a lot of all the people who are watching this live, a lot of y'all men who be like, oh nah man, I'm not gay. I'm like, oh really?
Oh, you like Evangelion? Oh yeah, you're not gay.
Ask them, okay, why do you watch wrestling? Would you still watch wrestling if Ricochet was not wearing trunks? Let me know.
Nope.
Let me know.
Let me know. If Ricochet starts wearing long pants.
Yo, they had him in pants on Monday, bro. You see that? They had him in pants. Yeah. They had Ricochet in pants.
And people started complaining about it.
And we turned it off. And we turned that shit off.
Not the same.
I know I did. I put on The Bachelorette. I said, fuck this. I'm watching The Bachelorette. Fuck this shit.
They're like, why
Ricochet in pants?
She did not in trunks anymore. I'm like, interesting.
That's not what the fuck I'm fucking subscribed. That's not why I pay for Hulu.
I want to see his ass. Oh, you're not gonna show me Ricochet's eyes? All right, I'm gonna go see some grown ass man cry.
Pants. It's like that. It's like
The Bachelorette.
No, as soon as that happened, I was like Michael Scott in The Office. I was like, I am the victim of a hate crime. That's not what a hate crime is. Well, I hated it.
It's not a hate crime. Well,
I am the victim of a hate crime. They put that man in pants.
I said, as long as they don't touch Angel Garza, we'll be fine.
Yes.
I mean,
sweet baby.
I'm pretty sure Angel
WWE finally gave us shirtless Roman. Like, finally.
Oh my God.
He knew what he was doing. He was working on that fitness.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to come back correct.
I'm going to just say right now, Galena and Hawaii, you are the luckiest woman in this goddamn planet. And
I'm not hitting on
why
him.
I wouldn't even violate the sanctity of marriage is because he's with a sister. If he wasn't, I would not give a fuck.
Okay, can we talk about how fucking gorgeous Roman's wife is? Because
oh my God,
Galena is gorgeous.
Sis.
Like, I'm
gorgeous.
jealous of Roman for being married to her.
The only thing though is homegirl needs to work on them shake and go weaves and wigs that she be rocking because the forehead be back here.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Corbin sometimes. And I'm like, nah, that's not the way to go. Like, her and Sasha are like forehead twins.
Yo, but Sasha got better.
Sasha has gotten better, but she's still, you see what I'm wearing right here? You need to lay down the baby hair. You need to moisturize the scalp. Put on the satin scarf. You know, sis? Like, Sasha definitely is one of them girls who grew up in the suburbs. and has the crunchy hair.
100%.
She just learned what a protective style means. You know what I mean? So she's transitioning right now. She's slowly. She's a baby natural. She's a baby natural.
She's learning so much today.
She's raised by like her white mom, right? So,
oh, that's probably why. Yep.
Yeah, because like,
oh yeah, just comb it, and you're like, just comb it.
You know what they do to my husband on set? They just grab a bottle of spray and they just spray his hair, like, and spray it and pat it. Like, let's tame your fro. You're good. Go. That's what they were doing to Sasha. Just
oh, you good.
Go, baby.
You know, like, if
Go, baby.
ever go back to like
they were doing a spritz and press for Sasha. A spritz and press.
Right. Like if we ever go back to meet and greet, I want to show up with a bag of luster pink.
Not luster pink. No, we gotta go to natural.
You know, I gotta show up with a bag of, suave natural.
Just for me, like no,
suave natural.
Like I want to show up. Not gonna lie, the suave for natural hairline is fucking legit. All right.
I'm just gonna give Shane a base or an eyebrow pencil.
Right, like I want to show up with a bag of baby hair combers. I want to give her a spray bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to give that to her.
Jerry,
I want to be like, sis, use them, all of them, use them.
Jerry, have you seen those Korean like products that are literally basically just a stamp of an eyebrow that you just like that's what I need for Shayna. Like baby girl.
Easy on the go.
Yo, I promise you, ever since you guys said that Shayna comes out and has no fucking eyebrows, me and PR text messages for like 2-3 weeks was talking about eyebrows that
Shayna has no eyebrows and she got a pregnant forehead. Okay.
Yes.
Like
and she got a half of a baby tooth.
You know, like she got a little snagger tooth that I know when she be eating out, I know that should be tickling your inner labia. Like I know that you know, like
that shit hurt.
You know, snagger tooth.
We gonna have to get you some bananas, my mom, because you are damn sure well. No, you not.
Y'all don't know what that tongue do. Y'all don't know what that tongue do. Y'all gotta chill.
I'm pretty sure that snagger tooth penetrates. I'm pretty sure.
Grooves in her tongue. I promise you, she gonna add is grooves in her tongue. Stop. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Oh my god. I cannot. You know that people still message us and be like, yo, Shayna Bates don't got no eye. And I'm like, direct that energy to
Facebook.
They're the ones
that close up on Monday, I was like, look at her, no eyebrow having that. It was like, boom, camera was like right here, and I was like,
right here.
Okay, but
she doesn't do them on
no. If we're gonna really talk about, makeup or no eyebrows.
Wait, hold on.
We're talking about baby girl and
Bobby Lashley.
Right?
No, we're talking about Bobby Lashley. No, we're talking
about not talking about alopecia daddy. Alopecia, leave alopecia daddy alone. Okay, that's a medical condition. Clearly. Okay.
Leave it alone.
Did you say alopecia daddy?
But if he does not have alopecia and he's out here wearing foundation on his eyebrows, then he needs to get slapped.
Listen, we're not gonna fuck with handsome Squidward. We know.
Oh my god!
We know he looks a little crazy.
1 minute. Can we take a shot? I have my beautiful baby cousin in the car with me. She just turned 21 on Monday. She's going to Vegas tomorrow. Can we take a shot for my baby cousin?
Let's do it.
Look. Jesse, say hi.
Hey.
Crystal running a whole ass Uber while on phone. What the fuck?
Yeah. Go get the stuff out the truck.
Make sure you give her 5 stars.
Yeah.
I was gonna be one earlier. Like it was bad. Hold on.
My God. Oh, alopecia daddy.
Yeah,
I'm not over that.
Nah, but Nia,
that's why listen to Dead Ass Girls because it's never ending. Like Dead Ass Girls got them. They're just like
Giselle, we'll be talking. Okay. My God.
But nah, Nia Jax be looking casket ready. I don't know who the fuck told them to fucking do her bronzer with acrylic paint. The bitch be looking like Jigsaw on fucking Mondays.
Would you like to play a game? And the unfortunate thing is that she's gorgeous. Because
without makeup, Nia Jax is a baddie. Okay,
she really is. She really is. She used to be a model. She used to be a supermodel.
She was. She's been in New York Fashion Week a bunch of times.
They used the ash from my fucking ashtray to make her eyebrows dark because that bitch be looking so raggedy on camera. And the thing too is that they I know stage makeup because I used to do like production makeup in high school for like plays and shit. So those lights are extremely bright and they're extremely hot. Like you turn on a light for 5 minutes. You guys in theater know that shit is fucking hot. You're sweating your ass off.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to go in, you know, heavy-handed. And the thing is that unfortunately they go too heavy-handed.
Hey.
So when you go into the camera, it just looks like Carlos Bakery on Times Square.
Oh no,
baby girl, you should not be looking like the ice cream special. Okay, so what I want to tell WWE Glam is one, you guys need to color match.
Do better.
Not like she's not a neutral skin tone. She's a yellow bone. She has yellow.
That's Nia Jax rolling up. She said,
"Come beat your ass."
He said, "Did you call me Jigsaw, bitch? I just saw it."
You know, we got fucking.
I got a game for you.
She said, "I got a number for you." Can we stop taking shots? I don't know what number it is at this point. I don't know what number.
How many times do I have to play this? Like I keep playing it, and after I play it, you're like, "Can we take a shot?" What did I do?
No, I said, "Can we stop?" Because I don't know what number it is.
Girl, just chug it.
Get wasted when you get home, and you'll be good. Yep.
Yo, I'm gonna wake up with the only hangover tomorrow. I have a funeral to go to in the morning. Like we got
damn, R.I.P.
Thanks.
R.I.P.
I do want to dedicate a shot to my tenant who passed away unexpectedly. I love her to death. Can we dedicate a shot to her, please?
Yes, absolutely.
This one's for you. I can't say your name, but this one's for you. I know you're looking down. I love you so much. That's it.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So I know
I don't mean to bring it down. Sorry.
No worries, but I know we had started this off like very like critical and negative, and I guess I'm not you fully, Krista, because now I'm like, let's talk about what we're excited about and what we're happy about in wrestling.
I'm excited for Roman Reigns to demolish John Cena on the mic during SummerSlam. For Daddy Reigns.
Becky, that's a shot. That's a shot.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Which, by the way, Roman Reigns with pineapples and coconut because I touched his hand one time. I sniffed it. I'm like, that man smells fine. Okay? He looks fine. He smells fine. He fucks fine, I'm sure. Okay?
First of all,
I'm dead now.
I'm dead now. I have to agree with Jizzy because, you know, I was all up in his face in 2015.
Okay, if they do bring John Cena, I'm excited to see them go back and forth because a lot of people on Twitter were talking about how, John Cena demolished him back then. I'm like, yes, you're right, because he was still coming into his own. But now that he's the head of the table,
first of all,
you can ravish me on that table.
The fact that he called Jay Jimmy or Jimmy Day, whoever, because I still can't tell him apart.
Jimmy J?
Like, it doesn't even matter.
Wait.
Jay Jimmy. And he was like, the fact that he goes, at this point, it doesn't even matter. Then you go
No.
there.
No. As much as I love what Roman Reigns is doing, as a twin, that is highly disrespectful.
Yes, it is disrespectful.
You cannot, if somebody was like, shout out to Letty, King Letty, love you, sis. If somebody was like, her name is Latrice, Latrice, don't matter. I'm just going to That's disrespectful.
Yeah. It is disrespectful. Trust me. Listen.
But if he looks at me like this, though, if he looks at me like this, you can tell me and call me anything you want to fucking call me.
Listen, what do I always say? What do we say in this house? Let the Samoans take me.
the end of this, those wrestling girls have to be dismantled because when Bianca comes back,
that wrestling girl.
Get
That
ready.
wrestling girl.
Those wrestling girls will be. I promise you, she tested my life. She wants the real best style bread. Kristen B to come out. Girl,
By the way, in honor of Pride Month, I also have to say that Rhea Ripley can rearrange my fucking ovarian tubes any day of the week.
Any day.
Okay?
Shout out to PJ.
She
PJ's not
swears
here.
up and down she's straight.
Shout out. You know what? Shock just because PJ.
PJ's not here, and that's
we get it, PJ.
Yeah,
girl.
she loves Rhea Ripley.
You know,
Let me find a really sexy photo of her.
Straight. We all know sexuality is on the spectrum.
Brandon, who's your wrestling crush right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll pull up a sexy pic.
MJF from. I watch more AEW.
Wow.
I keep up with
MJF is
NXT.
cute.
I got
MJF is cute.
Oh,
Wait,
I like
do you like
MJF.
him because he's a
That
bully?
scarf.
I
That's
got my
sweet.
little figures here.
That's
Yes.
Yes.
Let me find a sexy pic of MJF. Yeah, I
I
do
feel
like
like
his
it's the jawline
jerkiness.
for me.
He's a little
Like, he
goofy.
gives
He
me,
looks a little
like-
goofy, but he does it funny.
And he gives me like 90s Beverly Hills 90210 type vibes, like that jawline. That jawline.
MJF definitely be on Grinder, and like when you sneak out, you step on the kids' toys because he's married with a wife and kids. So on the way. Like MJF looks like his Grinder nickname is Dom Daddy 69.
I can see you doing like a real interesting buy scene with MJ.
I can see
Like,
that.
I feel like we would have a whole bunch of fun with him. Like, for real.
Like I feel like with women he's rough, but with guys he's like the
Real tender.
He's
Real tender.
Submissive.
Yeah.
He's submissive guy. I was watching this clip of AEW when Cody was bringing out all these people to go against Jericho and them, and Jericho gonna say, "Of course you bring the guy," and he has a fucking scarf. I'm just like, bruh, yo, all black people want a scarf. What's happening?
MJF definitely be choking out his victims with his scarf in the back. That's all I'm saying.
He started out with that scarf and that jaw.
Choke me, daddy.
Right. Thank you. There you go right there. There you go right there. And I was just like, God damn, if you didn't look like you was in your prepubescent stage, I would love you. He looks real
I'm also gonna
prepubescent
say
sometimes.
Lord my God, Rhea Ripley is so
Oh, this woman.
No, we need an up-to-date picture with that platinum blonde. Like,
With
I know-
a black
Oh,
lipstick.
okay.
yeah.
Let me find one.
I know this might sound like super disrespectful, but I refuse to believe that she's straight.
I believe that
Oh,
too.
me too.
I just
Yeah, me too.
refuse to believe that.
Oh, she's
I
only
really
24.
want Rhea to
She's
dominate.
only 24.
She's
Hey,
young.
yeah, she is. I officially came out to my mom when I was like 29. So like
She's got time.
She's got time.
Yeah. Like she
I do like that she's
looks like
dating a
she
black guy,
dominates,
though.
you know.
Sorry.
Like she looks
Yeah,
like
me too. I'm
a
into
girl that I saw unpopular with women on Pornhub. I'm just saying, you know.
listen,
She's
if
popular
I
with the
go
ladies.
on there and I type in Rhea Ripley and she pops up, I'm sending out a link. I promise you. I promise you.
I found you.
I felt like this is it. This is y'all write about it. Let's make this a storyline in a not creepy way, but let's do it. That's it.
And while we on Thirsty Thursdays, since we're all thirsting, I want to be in a toxic Hispanic relationship with Damian Priest, where we break up every weekend.
Salud.
I just sneezed because I was allergic to that.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
Look at
Makeup.
those lips.
Sessions. Yeah.
I mean, I do like
Look,
that.
I just want Damian Priest to like whisper to me in my ear. It's like, oh, daddy. Like there's like a party happening on his teeth. But if he just like whispers, like purrs in my ear, like,
Oh my God.
"Ay, mamita hermosa."
Why did I just
I'd be like,
Google Damian Priest and the second Google suggestion was Damian Priest's teeth? What's wrong with his teeth?
Girl,
There
you don't
you mean,
They should talk to Roman.
Now
it's like
While we're on the subject of teeth, I do have a soft spot for toothless Timothy.
Toothless Timothy. We love Toothless Timothy.
For him too.
Haven't you seen Timothy Thatcher and his half tooth? Like he's missing half a tooth, and they call him Toothless Timmy, and he's in a tag team with Tommaso Ciampa. So it's Old Man Ciampa and Toothless Timmy.
Okay, so we're talking about Timmy, right? So does that mean
so horrible?
Does that mean that in bed you got to learn how to train his dragon?
I can't.
That is.
I can't. Teeth now.
Guys, I love y'all. I hate to do this, but fireworks are popping off right now, and Minnie is having a panic attack,
Gotcha.
and Taylor's not home. As you can see, she's freaking the fuck out.
Oh,
So
Gotcha, Mama. Go be a
I
mom.
gotta go take care of this little one.
Go be a mom. I see her panting. I see her panting.
Look, wait.
I'll represent.
Okay. I love you guys. It was nice meeting
I
you.
love you.
I love you.
Jeree is a Twitch queen, so make sure you fucking stream with her on Twitch. She's a
You're on Twitch? Oh, I gotta follow you then.
Yes, come hang out with me on Twitch. I stream 5 days a week. It's just my name, twitch.tv/Jeree Reyna.
All right, looking that up right now.
Yes. Come follow me. Come hang. We do all the things. We chat. We watch Broadway shows. We play games.
Oh, one thing before Jeree goes, can we please take a shot to that amazing
Yes.
video she posted up with the good news about her mom? She made
Yes!
I'm so happy.
She's gonna fall,
Her
Minnie.
mom is cancer free, and we just have to take a shot to that. And that is that.
Yes. Yes.
Look at her.
Minnie,
like this.
Minnie, you're not a parrot. You're not a parrot.
What the
Minnie?
I love how you have to remind them that she's not
Minnie, get off.
She is
No,
scared.
girl.
Like, she's trying to get up under you as much as possible.
Yeah.
She is
Yeah, she's scared.
now.
Oh, sweet baby.
know. I
Go
gotta
take
go
care
get
of her.
All right. I love you guys.
Love
We
you.
love you.
Bye.
Why was Minnie there, man? Like, she a parrot. Am I drunk?
She is scared. Maybe.
We did get a question on, before we kind of wind things down, we did get a question from on Twitter, and they want to know what our favorite women's championship match of all time is.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
I'll let you guys answer.
Is it
Mine
any?
is WrestleMania 35 main event. If you said women's, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine is Mania 35 when Becky
Rhea
won.
versus Charlotte. Oh, what am I saying? Becky. Yes.
Yeah, Becky won that. Mine is
You
that.
got Ray Ripley on the brain, huh?
Yeah, no. I went a year later. I'm like, wait, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong year.
Okay,
Wrong year.
wait. That's one. And then, of course, when Bianca won at WrestleMania this year at SmackDown, SmackDown Women's Champion.
That was
Hey,
because
that's
I'm
my-
fairly new.
Oh,
That was one of
wait.
the first times I've cried at wrestling. Like I cried.
Yes.
It
Oh,
was-
yeah, I cried too.
I love that.
And then number 3 is when Naomi did her comeback and won in Florida. Those my
Ah, okay.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna hop on that bandwagon and I'm gonna go with Bianca because I was so hyped up. I have my Bianca mania. Well, no, that's Kofi Mania. But you know what I'm talking about. I got my Bianca, my WrestleMania Bianca shirt. I was crying. Like I sent y'all pictures. Y'all saw me like I was just bawling. I was just so excited, so hyped up. Mostly because I brought this up last Thursday, but I'm gonna bring it up again now. My husband's niece, well, his cousin's daughter, she's a huge wrestling fan. She's like anywhere between 4 and 6. I don't remember her age. And her favorite wrestler is Bianca Belair. So she was so excited that Bianca and Sasha were having we're having that historical moment. And she had her shirt that said EST or like the boss and EST or something like that. It was so cute. So it's mine. That's my soft spot. It's right there. It stays there. I love it. That's mine.
My favorite was, I was actually there live for it, was NXT Brooklyn, Sasha Banks versus Bailey, and
So
instead of
good.
being there live in the crowd, it was like magical. Like it was just, you can tell the difference between that match and every other match that was on that card. It just was so special and magical, and that is probably my favorite women's match is ever, and probably one of my all-time favorite matches just in general. It was just it was just like a perfectly choreographed match as well. Like, the story that they were both telling, just like the little details that they were putting in, just was fantastic. So that's definitely probably my favorite women's championship match ever.
All right.
I would have to say it was actually NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. So that was 2017. Asuka versus Ember Moon. The physicality in that match was fucking crazy. Like they were on it. Like they both, like it could have went either way and it would have been perfect. Like the match was impeccable. It was hard hitting. It was like the intensity of that match actually matched the intensity of like any top men's match. And that's what really, like, if I had to, like a match in recent times, but a throwback match I would have to say was for the championship was Trish Stratus versus Lita. Like, you have to say, like, in that moment, like, and I say that we say this all the time in our podcast, like Trish Stratus, like they haven't given her enough flowers because she ate shit for so long. Like she fucking walked so that this women's division can run. So Stephanie McMahon, I don't know what the fuck you be smoking. You be smoking crack, talking about you started the women's revolution. I'm like, listen, like Lita and Trish were so poorly treated and fucking mishandled, and the fact that they were able to shine in that moment, it really kind of opened the doors to women's wrestling. So those are the two favorites, I would have to say.
Nice.
I gotta agree with Jizzy. I was gonna go actually to like the Raw main event or just everything that Trisha did, I think, because she understood the assignment. Like she was like, you know what? I'm hot. I have big boobs, and I know you hired me for my looks, but you know what? I'm gonna sneak in and become a good wrestler before I even realize that shit, and then I'm gonna fucking own this shit for years. And she did, and I love that for her. And I think this might even be like a separate live episode, but I think the Divas era, or even that era where we say women were objectified, they might have been objectified by corporate, but like they owned that shit. Like Trish was like, I get it. I get why I'm here, but guess what? I'm gonna show y'all differently. And her and Trish and her and Lita did like some shit. So that might be like my favorite women's match. Like,
which is why I say, who did I speak with? I spoke with the writer of A Diva is just a female version of a wrestler.
Hey, Scarlett.
Super cute. Yeah, Scarlett Harris.
Come on, Scarlett.
We actually had an interview, and I had said, like, the women's revolution was more of a moment than it was a movement. And the only reason I say that is because, like, yes, the women now, they physically look different. Like, even the look is different, as opposed to what we grew up with divas. But the reason why I say it's a moment is because we still have not gotten to the level where we should be, like the fact that we haven't had an Evolution 2 yet is a fucking slap in the face. Like the fact that we still cut in women's matches, the fact that we have so many women who are signed who you barely fucking see, who you
forget about.
The fact that they be playing fucking hot potato with the title, like the tag title was supposed to be fought between 3 divisions, and you only see it on Raw, or sometimes you see it on SmackDown. It's like, we still have a lot of work to do as far as showing the recognition for the women's divisions across every single place. But I also have to say that we have a long way to go as far as the respect. And when I say that is that a lot of these young guns, a lot of these younger wrestlers come in thinking that, oh, I'm doing something different. I'm like, listen, you need to pay respect to the women who came before you, who fucking died, who fucking were so put down who never got to see a piece of recognition to this day. You know, there's a lot of women out there who fucking Bull Nakano, Elisa Bates, like there are people out there who actually paved the way either in the States or in Japan who never got their fucking flowers. So like, you know, as much as I love a lot of the new, you know, women's wrestlers, they kind of coming in with too much ego because Stephanie McMahon has empowered them to say, oh, you guys are the revolution. I'm like, nah, sis, this shit started way before they were even born. It's just that more people care about it now because of social media. Right. You know, people people weren't like protesting back then or writing letters in back then. You know, actually people wrote fucking letters. Like that's the thing that I sometimes when I watch women's wrestling and sometimes when like I hear their promos, I'm like, sis, you are literally Trish Stratus version 8. Fucking wow. You know, like sis, you are Tori Wilson number 14. Like, don't think that you are as original as you think you are. Same thing with male wrestlers.
Well, also to piggyback on what you said, like I feel like Stephanie is now empowering the women like the Bellas or whoever now because she was given that platform finally from her own father. Like we all know how much of a narcissist and how much of a machismo this is. Like we all know that he was not really here for women unless you look like a Barbie doll and he was selling sex. And yeah, we have people like Bull Nakano and we have women like up until fucking China. Like China was not recognized until the 2018 Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, Stephanie is catching a lot of grief for saying to tell these women that they started it, but we also have to remember that's what she was given. Like she wasn't given a voice to sit here and be like from way back when she was in the ring wrestling or when she was a part of the Helmsley McMahon regime or like she wasn't given that. She was just another character that her father said you can be on this map and this that and that. We don't know how much leeway she was given.
And she was also objectified.
She was definitely objectified by her own father.
Almost every male like managerial position made out with Stephanie. They insinuated her sleeping with Stephanie. She participated in bra and panty matches. Not that I'm a fan of her at this moment because I'm just like, but like, let's be real. She put up with a lot of other divas put up with.
Yeah,
I remember.
Like she put up with a lot.
I remember in an interview with Stephanie, this was probably like 5 years ago or something. Someone was having an interview with her and she was saying like at WrestleMania 30, you know, like her father was like there like choreographing something before like the show and she like made a suggestion to him and he basically told her to shut up.
Wow.
And this is like her saying that she didn't say that he told her to shut up. He said, maybe it's better if you don't say anything. And I'm like,
if you can sit here and shut down your own kid, right? Like how much leeway and how much say do you think she has? Like I feel like there's times where Stephanie has to sneak and be like, ladies, you're doing a good job. Or
you know what would be fantastic?
Just for like Vince is making her say it just for TV purposes. Like when you see her on Total Divas or when you see her whatever, you know, it's like how she feels. Vince doesn't feel that way, then Vince is not going to give her that leeway.
Yeah,
like Vince is not going to let her until it's profitable.
Yeah,
I just want to say, in celebration of Pride, Vince McMahon should perish. Anyways.
Oh no!
Cheers
wait a minute.
Here's to that.
No.
Wait, no.
I don't wish death.
Oh,
I don't wish death. I'm not cheering to that, and don't count that for me. Not happening.
I'll put it out there.
Not for you. I will rephrase it. In honor of Pride, retire. I think that he should retire.
Oh, okay, sure.
That's better.
We'll go with sure. Perish can mean retire. He just needs to disappear from society.
But in most cases, perish means die, fall, you know, all that. So, you know, I'm not just, not me.
Hey, you know what?
Semantics matter.
He's very old.
Do matter, and he's already old.
Physical suffering.
Okay, listen. However y'all wanna, phrase it, that's
when
cool.
Vince McMahon die, I'm gonna be bawling my eyes out. I'm not gonna hold you. I will promise you, I will post every Vince McMahon video I have on my phone.
I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't be here without him.
Like, Exactly. So I would never ever wish death on the man who gave us this. It sucks that he has that mindset that he has, but he gave us something to live off of, and for us to do this, he gave us wrestling for us to be here, sitting here today. So I'm not gonna sit here.
You know what?
I will say he perished.
I hear that and I accept that and I understand. But I also hold the same position about Vince that I hold with Ric Flair. Let the man go home and stay home and watch it from home.
Yeah.
So at this point,
that.
Yeah. So no, I'm just saying, just reiterating, you know, like I understand. Yes, if it wasn't for Vince, we wouldn't be here doing this.
Sitting here talking about
because granted, he inherited this from his father, but his father did not take wrestling to where wrestling is at right now. Mm-hmm. Vince did that. So I don't like the man.
Believe in it.
Correct.
His father
I don't like the man.
Just like he's doing that with Stephanie now. He's not believing in what is supposed to be believed in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I just hope that Stephanie and Paul have enough foresight to try to like cut that generational curse right there and move forward into a more positive and inclusive wrestling scene, which won't happen for like another decade or so. But I'm here for it.
To be honest,
Vince
I'm not
is a vampire.
Because
no, I'm not sure about Paul because he's cut by the same cloth. He's cut by the same cloth as Vince is.
It's like even
are we talking about white man?
Are we talking about Paul Levesque?
Yes, we are talking about Paul Levesque.
When he was asked about an all women's pay-per-view, he said, "Oh, didn't we do that already?"
Yeah.
Say less, so like, say less, because at the end of the day, you're a privileged white cis man from fucking Connecticut that don't fucking know what's up. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Krista B 2.0.
The very fact that
I'm inspired by you, babe. I'm inspired by Krista B.
The very fact that he was talking about equality, I'm like, you don't treat women equal on your show.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, so how the fuck are you gonna sit there and talk about equality when you don't treat the women equal? You don't give them enough time on TV. You certainly don't pay them enough. Mm-hmm. It's like you don't pay them equal to the men. You don't give them the same opportunities as the men. Just because you throw a couple of bones here and there doesn't mean shit.
Right. That's just a play
for you guys.
What?
How do you guys feel about intergender matches?
I love them.
I need them. I want more of them. Like I think that we're at a point where if we are ever the sounds. If we are ever going to cross the line, the very sexist line that is extremely defined in wrestling, we need to start bringing more intersex matches to the forefront. Like the fact that we have shit like Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton, and that's like the most intersex that we're getting like recently, you know, at least from the WWE.
Yeah.
It's like what are we doing here? Like we have wrestlers like Nyla Rose, which probably I don't know, I am assuming, but probably gets or has gotten a lot of pushback for who she is. Mm-hmm. Like the amount of BS that she's had to put up with before getting to the point where she's at. And even now, she probably gets a lot of pushback. She probably has to put up with a lot of bullshit, you know? Like, I think that if there were more intersex matches, if the fact that we were able to see wrestlers as the sports people that they are, you know, like what's the word that I'm looking for? Deportistas. That's just a term in Spanish. Help me out. You know, like if we were able to see wrestlers just as that, sex doesn't matter. Sex has never mattered. What's in your pants should not hinder what you're able to do, what you're able to put, you know, how you're able to perform.
Right.
Yeah. If we were able to see more matches like that, if we were able to have more inclusivity in that aspect, I believe that the doors would be open for more non-binary wrestlers, transgender wrestlers, you know, just to be able to be there, be part of the scene, take a step forward, because I am sure that at some point in her career, Nyla Rose has gotten somebody asking her why she is in this particular locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like,
What are we talking about?
Intergender doesn't mean just male and female. You
Correct.
have binary
Right.
that are wrestlers. It's like that is included in that. So
Yes.
to say that you're not into intergender wrestling, it's like you are excluding a certain group of people from wrestling. And it's just,
Thank you for bringing that up because I didn't.
Yeah,
that didn't even cross my mind. Like,
yeah, and it's like because I have seen this argument before on, Twitter and stuff. It's just like when we talk about intergender wrestling, we're only seeing it as male and female. Even we like disregard non-binary people, and it's like they are included in that. So it's like when we're saying, oh, intergender wrestling isn't necessary or needed, we don't need to see men and women wrestling each other. It's like you're excluding an entire group of people. It's like, and even so, it's like professional wrestling, as real as it is and as real the emotions it makes us feel, it is a fictional show. It is like, as we're saying, Broadway.
Yes.
It's like
it's scripted.
Exactly. And you have the likes of Candice LeRae, who is a tiny little woman who is wrestling men in the indies like it was nobody's business. And, and she was doing freaking great at it. And
That's true.
She comes to NXT and she kind of gets watered down as being Johnny Gargano's wife when it's like in the indies.
Legit. That's all.
She was one of the most badass women wrestlers and just wrestlers in general.
Like I love me some Candice LeRae. She's the tag team. She's one half of the tag team women champs in NXT. I adore her. But the first title that she got before this point of being a champ, the current champ, was Johnny Gargano's wife. Not even the Poison Pixie or whatever. She is been allocated as the side piece of a man.
One of my pet peeves, if you know me, is when women are only known for who the fuck they're married to. I fucking hate that shit to the better my being. And then when you learn who Candice LeRae is and know that she's a fucking badass, she's one of the toughest wrestlers. I'm not even gonna say women. She's one of the toughest wrestlers that has stepped into the fucking ring. And the fact that for a long time that's all she was, and now that she's finally getting that recognition is so important to me.
Yeah.
And WWE, it's funny because it's only when you get to the major promotions where intergender wrestling becomes a topic. Because if you go on the indies, that's an everyday occurrence. If you're a star, you're a star.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a star, you're a star. If you're a good wrestler, whether you're male or female, you're gonna go against the next top wrestler.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Ridiculous.
And just the fact that Candice LeRae won tag team championships off of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks that people consider one of the best tag team champions of all time, or one of the best tag teams of all time. She did that. I mean, I didn't like her tag team partner. We all don't like her tag team partner who she had in the past. But it's I'm just gonna say Candice LeRae by herself won it off of them, off of the Young Bucks. And it's even the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, all of those people have claimed that Candice LeRae is one of the best wrestlers of all time. Because she can go to par with anybody.
Absolutely. Ooh, I got fired up.
You know what's crazy for me? And I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. Or Bakey, I got my wine out. I got you.
I see you.
What's crazy for me is that I have never experienced Candice LeRae in the way you guys experienced her. And the fact that you guys are talking about her in such high regard, it pisses me off that they have her positioned in a way to where she's so watered down. To where it's she's talented, but we're not going to use her talent because she's going to upstage the men. And I feel
that right there, that she's going to upstage the men. Oh my God! Cheers.
That still happens to this day. Let's cheers
the
to that.
wording of that was correct, and I just
yep. And let's cheers to that. And I'm sorry, as far as the sound, but you can do it now. But and I want to end on this because I know it's getting late. Everybody has to go. Is that even as early as the women's first Royal Rumble, the women had to change their finish numerous times up until the last second because the men were bothered at the finishes and did not want to get outshadowed. So I literally just want to like end on that note, because I feel like women and people that are not cis male literally always have to edit themselves, hold back, and all these sorts of things to not overshadow a certain thing in wrestling. And I want, at this point, June 10th, 2021 to be the end of that shit. If we're the best, we're the fucking best. If you know what I mean? Like, no matter where what community you come from, how you identify, fuck gender. I felt this way for 31 years of my life. All that
There's
shit,
a construct.
Fuck all that shit. If you're the best, you're the best. If you're a good wrestler, you're a good wrestler. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. Period.
Absolutely. And that's the same. I mean, yes, we are all wrestling fans, but that is valid for any sport, anything. That's just what it is. Gender is a construct. Gender is not real. Yeah. Gender is not real. Let people just enjoy and do a good job doing what they enjoy.
Right.
If you're a good wrestler, wrestle with another good wrestler.
I'm a good female wrestler. Or I'm a good male wrestler. I'm a wrestler.
Right.
You're a wrestler. If you are the best wrestler, go have a match with the next best wrestler in your weight category. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you want to keep that so that it's a little bit more fair, just keep the weight category. Like, if you're a cruiserweight, you can have a female, a non-binary, and a male cruiserweight wrestler. They can all have a triple threat match, have a fucking fantastic match on my screen, and I can just like rip my heart out from my chest and just scream to the top of my lungs. That would just be fucking beautiful. That's enough. That is enough. You don't need to keep just labeling, oh, this is the best female wrestler we've had. This is the best male tag team not even male. You don't even have to disclose that it's a male tag team. They're just the tag team blah. So let's just stop putting labels on shit. How about that?
You know what?
That'd be nice.
P and Bakey, I found out what my next sound off is gonna be, and you guys are my guests.
Yes. I'm here for it.
I'm always honored to be a part of the sound offs.
I just want to be there. Never been. I just want to.
Oh, you never been? Oh,
I never been.
Yes. So I feel like this is a good moment to sort of wind down.
Let's do it.
Christy, I'm also drunk. That's why I want to do this. But Christy B's Sound Off is a part of Those Wrestling Girls Patreon, which is $1 a month. So please support us. Christy B sounds off all the time. It's amazing and all that shit. And I want to give everyone else that's on the panel a chance to kind of do their plugs. I want to thank everyone who has joined us for Thirsty Thursdays. This is a monthly party with Face Be Hill High Podcast, second Thursday of every month. If you want to be a guest, hit us up. We love guests. Shout out to PJ. We love you and we miss you. Shout out to Jaree, who had to dip out. But I would love everyone to kind of do their last round of plugs and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us. Jizzy, some of our fucking family.
Thank you, guys. Audrey, Jizzy, do you guys want to plug yourselves first before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'm getting plugged late tonight, but if you want to listen to the Deadass Girls podcast, you guys could go onto our link tree on Twitter, which is at Deadass Girls. We say a lot of disrespectful, rude shit. If you're into that. Just follow the podcast. Like, if you want, I really don't give a fuck about y'all. So, anyways.
And she say that with the most sincerity in her heart. Okay.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
All the love. Yeah.
I got to do one New York City chant real quick.
But yeah, thank you for having me on. I know I only hopped in for late, but I got some arroz con guandules on the stove right now, so I gotta go.
Girl, that sounds
with the coconut milk, so
of course. I was expecting that.
Yeah,
there's no other way.
Send some people tomorrow.
For everyone who tuned in, thank y'all for joining in. Thanks for the awesome open conversation. You see, you can have a differing opinions and not be rude or disrespectful about it, and just, go about your business. Like, it's all
Absolutely.
love, no hate. We all trying to win at the same time. Okay, all wrestling is good wrestling, except, let me not say that. Because I know Brandon's an AEW fan, so let me not say that.
It's okay.
And hopefully, next time I will be on here for a little longer. So PR, thanks for putting this together.
Oh, absolutely.
Every month, Mama. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I was just on Twitter and I have to share something with you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I can't read this.
It says, imagine eating ass and a doodle crumb gets stuck on your lip. That is dead ass girls in a nutshell. If you are not fucking listening to their podcast, you are fucking missing out. That's all I have to say.
Oh, Jizzy, I hate you.
That's all I have to say. Listen to their podcast, please.
Yes, we had to have our latest episode.
The fact that I walked into that,
Holly died. So.
the fact that I walked into that, I just love Disney. So,
Shout out to Gina too.
Shout out to Gina. All right, I've been texting her. She's at work right now, saving lives. Keep your fucking mask on, yo, because she's doing a lot of double time as a nurse. So keep your fucking mask on. Wash your hands. Wash your ass.
Yes. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Audrey, would you like to plug yours?
Yeah, sure. So I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Audrey Padre. I also have an art account, both on Twitter and Instagram at Audrey Conrana. It is a mixture of my name and the wrestling move, the Hurricanrana, because that's my favorite wrestling moves. So you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram on those handles.
Very nice. Brandon, do you want to plug anything?
Sure. You can follow me on Instagram at Brandon Salmons. Pop Goes Brandon on Twitter. And it's not up yet, but I recently acquired iloveprowrestling.com, ILPW. And it's kind of like making me want to do a little hodgepodge of things. So like some merchandise and some promoting women's wrestling, queer wrestling, a little outlet for. I didn't know all of you guys existed, and I'm excited. So maybe we can work on some stuff together.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to start listening and following you guys more. This was great. Thank you.
And soon you're going to be having, you're going to start taking pictures of wrestling events soon as well, right? So that's also going to be
wrestling photography. So that'd be a nice front row spot.
Keep that in
mind.
Brandon's a great photographer.
You guys are all in the city. Let's go to some shows.
Please, yes. Brandon's a great photographer. So this is just fucking perfect. Like I'm hyping up my friend right now. I'm just.
Oh my god, how beautiful does Krista B look though? In this
as you
light?
should. It's friend.
Wait, Krista B looks so beautiful in this
She really
light.
does.
Like her hair and everything. Like I just have to take a second and appreciate it. Like, oh my god.
But yes, I have to go. I'm sorry to cut it off.
Love you, Jizzy. Yes. Plug Deadass Girls. Follow Deadass Girls. Thank you, Jizzy, so much. Love you so much.
Thank you so much.
First of many more collabs.
All right, and I'm just gonna plug us real quick. Please follow us, FaceBeat Podcast. Well, FaceBeat Heels High Podcast. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook as FaceBeat Pod or FaceBeat Podcast. We are on TikTok as FaceBeat Pod. I have absolutely nothing better to do than make TikToks, and I started again. So please join me because I am bored. So please follow us on every platform. We are on every platform, podcast platform. So we enjoy that, do that, and join us every second Thursday of every month.
Yep.
Yes. Also, make sure that you follow my website, Unapologetically Eclectic. I have a dope ass interview coming out next week featuring the one and only. Should I say it? Amber,
can you share?
Y'all.
Woo! Yes! Yes! You did that! You did that! Yes! You did that.
Please make sure you follow Unapologetically Eclectic on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Please subscribe to my Patreon. I have some dope interviews up there. It's only like $3 to subscribe. So please subscribe to Unapologetic Eclectic on Patreon. Listen to my dope interviews. My first interview is with my goddaughter, who's a 9-year-old entrepreneur making lip glosses. All is lip, all the face stuff you need. And my second one, yes. And my second one is with Miss T Talk. She's a dope interviewer. She's a dope media personality. My third one I have coming out is with my dope ass, permanently ass makeup artist Zara. So please look out for that. So just please follow. Make sure you follow those wrestling girls. Make sure you follow our personal pages. I'm Miss _ Krista B _ Queen PR is it's Queen 3 _ PR on everything. Join our discussion groups. Join everything. Make sure you follow everybody that was on this panel, that's still on this panel right now. And on that note, it's your girl Krista B. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just realized that I didn't plug myself. So if y'all want to follow me, I'm Crispa120 on Twitter, Instagram. Don't follow me on Facebook. And my family's in there. And I am on Twitch. I have not properly started my channel. It is there. I had one it's Crispa Contreras. Well, twitch.com/Crispa Contreras. Come follow. I'm there. I have my own TikTok too. Also, Crispa120. It's all the same thing.
Love you all. Thank you so much for joining us for Thirsty Thursdays. It's second Thursday of every month. It's a party. We love you.
On that note, it's your girl Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And we are out of here. See y'all later.
Keep your face beat and your heels high.
Take one last break.
Yes.
Oh.
Well,
I gotta run to the house to get my drink. God dang
I'll do the peace signs. I don't have a drink. I don't even have one.